So when did you start collecting shells?
Well, when I was about 7, I remember collecting the odd shell from a local beach. Family only owned a Morris 8 car then, so they didn't do a lot of trips to the beach. But I also wandered around our street, which was a blind road, and found a rubbish heap, and I found a nice overseas mitridae that I hadn't seen before. And I was quite young. Yeah.
So, but your mother used to collect already.
Well, yeah, she got interested in the shell. She was a collector, like I was, and so she had quite a large collection, which she just donated all to me when I took her on her first overseas trip to the Cook Islands, Aitutaki and Rarotonga. Judith, my wife, said, "Take your mum. She'll know some of the other shellers." There's a group of shellers. And I got a ring on the Monday morning to say, "Ring me tomorrow, Tuesday morning, if you can take these 2 spaces."
It had become available.
Yeah.
And your mother was 68 or something?
Yeah. The 2 people that couldn't come couldn't get leave last minute. So it was the Towns, I think. So it meant that the next morning I got my monthly check. I was in real estate there at the time, and I'd had 3 and a bit years and taken no holidays and worked very hard, made quite a lot of money, and then decided, yeah, that's the best check I've had since I started. It's confirming what I should do. So I rang my mum and said, "We're off." And I think we didn't have a lot of time. It was like a week.
When was that, more or less?
It would have been...
Was it late 70s?
Something like that.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
And what other places have you been? I saw you've been to Florida.
The first shell trip we did was to a place called New Hebrides,
which is now
Vanuatu.
Yes.
And that was very worthwhile. We went way up to Santos and we stayed down in Vila Way. And that was my first trip overseas, really, to see overseas shells.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that really got hold of me. So,
and you've been to Florida?
Yeah, for a world trip, I think that was 2. Yeah,
just before Josh was born, 92.
Yeah. And we decided that we'd go to Hawaii first, to be there on the night of their monthly meeting.
No.
And I took a lot of my reasonable shells and had prices on them, and they were all made bigger price, American, and had no trouble getting rid of them. And then I bought some of the
Hawaiian shells.
Shells.
And you went to California.
Yeah, California just briefly, so that we changed flight to go over to New York.
And then down Texas.
Yeah. Did you meet Bob Foster there? Because I saw some shells from the Abbey.
Yeah, no. He was California.
Yeah.
And we didn't really have time to go up to where he was. But I bought quite a lot of stuff from him over time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We recorded it all.
And then you went to Florida, Sanibel.
After we'd done our trip up to
Niagara Falls and
we
New
went
York,
right up to Buffalo, Niagara Falls, Canada. Went on the boat in the rain with your jackets, stuff like that. And my wife was always a little less adventurous.
She had to keep you in check.
And anyway, she enjoyed it. And the Canadian side of the whole area was immaculate. The American side was scruffy and rough. That's the main thing I remember. And yet we had to go one place to the other. Because going up through north, what do they call that area? Well, anyway.
And so, and just sort of thinking about the shells, Dad, you went to Florida and Sanibel Island?
Yeah, I wanted to go down to Orlando, in the big airport there, in the middle of Florida. And then I booked a car to do a trip down
the Keys.
on the Keys, on the west coast of Florida, heading for Sanibel Island, which was supposed to be the best collecting spot in America. Yeah. A lot of people did collecting there, and you stayed in a motel, and all the names were after shells or something.
Shell collector's dream holiday.
So we really enjoyed that trip, and the weather was superb, and I think we stayed 2 nights there. We only had one on the thing, but we enjoyed it so much. And of course, since then they've built the Shell Museum for America on Sanibel Island. But of course, that hadn't opened. It wasn't even talked of, I think, when we were there. And then we went off down across the Everglades to get to sort of Miami or that way. And we stayed in a hotel that was on the beachfront, and it was ideal for honeymooners or people who had a honeymoon years ago and wanted to see a place you could sit in a car to have your meal.
A diner, and it was classic cars, and you sat. It was quite unique. Nothing like that in New Zealand.
No. So that was that.
Yes.
And then we decided we'd head south. We had the end of in mind, but we ran out of time. We would stop when there was a shell shop or something, and
get distracted as you do.
And your collection, you started doing like this with the shell names since the start, with the labels and everything.
Like making it into scientific.
Yeah, I wanted to make it a proper collection. So that every bit of information I gathered was important to go with shell.
Yes, and your labels, I thought they were printed.
But not hand printed.
Not hand printed, but a printer.
Printed, yes.
And I saw all of them like this is amazing.
Yes.
So neat.
Yeah, the handwriting is amazing. You had a lot of patience.
Fairly neat in my...
And meticulous. And Dad would sit here and do not bump the table, whatever you do. Because
so there we are.
And I see some names on the labels that I don't know. David Baker, which I found out David Baker online, and he was born in 1916. Is that the old guy, David Baker?
David Baker. Did you go halves with his collection with Heather Smith? David Baker, was he?
Was it David Baker, or was it? Yeah, if it was Baker on there, it must be.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. And he died. He was the last foundation member of the boys that started the Shell Club way back. And he was the last one alive.
Okay.
And he lived at Mission Bay, I think it was.
Yes, that's him.
And
was he an architect? Was that why he had those drawers?
I'm not really sure what sort of work he used to do, because he was quite an old man when we met him.
Yes.
And he'd come to important things about the Shell Club.
So
he was the last one. So I said to Heather Smith, who was a good friend of mine in the club, and I'd taught her a lot. She'd come to my collection and have a look at shells and displays and things like that. And but she got rid of a lot of her shells at the auctions earlier on, I was still hanging on to every bit I had.
Yes, I see. You write always show auction number.
We were still taking him, and he was buying shells in his mid-80s, and Mum was going, no more. You've got to have your passion and your interests.
Yeah, well, but it's a fantastic collection, probably the largest.
Well, I've always been told it's the largest in New Zealand.
Yes.
And it's a world shell
yes.
collection. It's not
and
just New Zealand.
So is it quite comparable to what you have?
It's probably the largest I have seen from one single place. And so every shell will be registered in our database and have a picture and his name on it, so it will be preserved in a way.
Yes.
And your shells will be with hundreds of collectors all over the world.
We did have a computer at one stage, and I was taught. My wife didn't want to know about it, so it was all on me.
Who did the typing for you, Dad? Give Mum a little bit of credit.
Oh, she might have done it. She wasn't really keen though. And it's just a matter of getting the details of every shell correct.
Yes.
You'd pore over books, wouldn't you, Dad? Your library.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we'll be able to handle your collection.
Thank you.
Very happy to properly talk to you, even though I met you 25 years ago.
Yes.
Yes, I remember you sitting on our floor in the lounge here. We looked a bit different.
A little bit younger.
And I had a TV there.
We were all a bit younger back then. Hey, Dad.
Well, that was a good.
Well, I left this place so quickly. I didn't really have time to do a jolly thing.
Pack up or anything much.
No. So,
That's okay.
Well,
we're here now.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.